to have a serious conversation. So the battle within ZANU-PF is getting really, really wild. And I want you guys to come through so we can have a conversation. Good evening to you. Please, if it's your first time to come across the channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure that you ring the bell so that every time I'm live, you'll be notified. Or I drop a video, you'll be the first one to watch it. I must also say shout out to all my regulars that always dine with me here. I want to appreciate you so much. Come through so that we can have this conversation. The battle within ZANU-PF is getting really wild. Mnangagwa loyalists are now threatening to protest against Chiwenga. Of course, it's the one that is acting against corruption. Very interesting days ahead. Come through, guys. We need to chat. Also, on the other hand, is we can hear the spokesperson for ZANU-PF, that is Faria Marapira, is trying to sanitize the fights within the camp, but we can see it's visible. It's getting serious. I also heard that there is a CIO, ex-CIO actually, that is Onyongwe. In his book, he also mentioned Muchangwa and Muchangwa as well as Joe Charamba. Interesting. And we all know that Joe Charamba and Muchangwa are Mnangagwa's loyalists. Come through. We need to have a chat. Okay. This battle of ZANU-PF is like a couple that is heading for a divorce. They can tell you, no, we're fine, we're okay, don't worry about us, until things blow up, because they need to keep that within the reps. But at the end of the day, people can see that things are not really working. Everyone can see it. We are watching it very closely, But I must tell you that Faria Marapira, spokesperson to ZANU-PF, came out gun blazing and said, "You guys, you're wild, you're just crazy. What are you talking about?" But you can see that he's so unhappy. People that are Mnangagwa's loyalists are so much under pressure. They no longer trust anybody because everyone is becoming an enemy. Remember, there are allegations that G40 infiltrated Mnangagwa de la Coste heavily. When I say infiltrated, I talk about heavily infiltrated Mnangagwa's regime. But we need to take a listen to Miss Faria Marapira. Said it's a lie. We are 150% intact, but all I can say is you need to listen to him and decide. But as far as I know, everything is simply a lie. It is a lie. Shame. It's very sad. But that's what life is all about. Whenever you sow nonsense seeds, there's always going to be consequences. Take a listen.
Blawayo becomes the industrial hub once again. We have completed the basis for the creation of an industrialized economy, which is to expand the feeder parts of the economy, which feed industrialization, which feed the manufacturing industry. And with us, that's the agriculture and the mining industry. So from these, with agriculture, we're essentially it's 90% of food self-sufficiency. We are now looking at becoming exporters of food. So we are now moving towards manufacturing instead of exporting raw food materials or raw agricultural produce. We're now looking at industrializing and exporting processed goods from Zimbabwe. So it is quite sound and quite meaningful that the president in his wisdom has decided that this conference be held in Blawayo, because as we move towards industrialization, Blawayo, the industrial hub of this country, shall be returning to greater heights than ever before. Well, in ZANU-PF we've got 1 cent of power. And that 1 cent of power is our first secretary and president, Comrade Mnangagwa, and everyone under him, from the second secretaries to a sole member, is solidly behind the president. So these are manufacturers of our opposition, not in locally, but we've come from the inception of ZANU-PF. We've had funding against the party. As we moved into independence, we've seen this funding, these propaganda attacks. But ZANU-PF is not swayed. It is not moved by propaganda attacks. We know who we are. We know how we move. We know we're solidly behind President Mnangagwa. We know the boat is sailing smoothly. There is no instability on our seas. So we are not worried about what people fund the media to say. We are very solidly behind the president, and he's very much in charge, and he's very much supported by all people within the party. So once again, propaganda or no propaganda, ZANU-PF continues to sail towards the horizon of eternity successfully.
All right. Three things that came out of this statement. Number one is that they want to now promote industrialization in Malawi, and we know that this is the sender of Chiwenga as as best. We have heard a few days ago that Jonathan Moyo, Shavangu, and the Awash Mengube are behind Chiwenga campaign. And I've also told you that there are things that I heard last year towards elections, when there were a bit of recalls that Washington was going to start a party. But I think in essence it was simply to say Washington is going to betray the struggle, which is the Triple C, and work with the ZANU-PF. Now it's quite interesting. He's talking about the food that Zimbabwe is not exporting food, but last time I checked, Mnangagwa is moving around with a begging bowl, begging for food. So how can Zimbabwe exporting food when we are begging for food? Maybe something doesn't make sense here. Again, they're under pressure. The truth is they're under heavy pressure now. They don't even know what to do anymore. Things are getting wild. There's also an element of Mnangagwa is the only leader that we acknowledge, again, trying to kind of telling Chiwenga that whatever you want to do will not work. We're only focused on Mnangagwa. But at the end of the day, these are simply words. These are human beings who can say whatever they want to say. Like I can say whatever I want to say. Everyone is also entitled to their opinion. But the fact remains, Zimbabwe is desperate for food. We have quite a number of people who are looking for what to eat. So lying that things are going well in the country is actually crazy. It is definitely crazy. Again, he's saying ZANU-PF will live, till eternity. Okay, again, as something that doesn't make sense. ZANU-PF has to be there till Jesus come down. Is that what he says? Even in heaven. To eternity means even in heaven. What a lie. They know that the pressure is mounting, and anything can happen, and power can go any minute, any day. I'm a firm believer that if Mnangagwa managed to out Mugabe, what guarantee does he have that people can also play the very same game? How you came will always determine how you're gonna be out. It is what it is. That's the rule of the game. The rule of the game is very clear. Now, I've told you that Chiwenga is making these moves that ZANU-PF is watching, which includes the publishing of the book by the CIO, one of the ex-CIO. His name is Director General Happy Tony Bonyongwe. Sorry. Wow. Okay. I'll be bad when it comes to Shona words. But in this book that he wrote, very interesting timing, because it's the timing of the fights, which is the internal fights in ZANU-PF. That's when the book is being released. Okay? At the very same time, the war vets are also choosing a person from Lawayo. And that's not an issue for me. I'm talking about the book that is releasing. And in this book, he's accusing Mnangagwa that Mnangagwa caused a bit of a chaos during the 2017 coup. Again, why Mnangagwa this time? Because Mnangagwa is going to be the one standing against Chiwenga. So they are trying to neutralize him, intentionally, but again, because Mnangagwa is not loved by the Zimbabwean people. It's not even about ZANU-PF. Mnangagwa is not loved by the Zimbabwean people in general because of his water mouth and verbal diarrhea. Nobody wants to actually be closer to Mnangagwa at all. That's the problem. It's verbal diarrhea, But I want to read the Newsworks article that they send out, that the Zimbabwe State Security Service, that is the Central Intelligence Organization, is the CIO, former Director General Happy Tony Bonyongwe's protracted fight with ZANU-PF spokesperson Chris Mnangagwa has intensified after the former launched a backlash against the political bigwig in his new book. Bonyongwe and Mnangagwa have been fighting for a long time, but reasons for their hostilities have not been fully disclosed until now. In his memoir, one of among many, My Contribution to the Zimbabwean Story, Bonyongwe says he has never understood why Mnangagwa harbors deep hostility and hurt towards him. But there are things that he thinks can explain the problem. During the 2017 coup, Mnangagwa and others viewed Bonyongwe as a major stumbling block to the push against the late former President Robert Mugabe. They wanted commanders to deal with him and stop him in his tracks. Okay. In the midst of the coup on November 20th, 2017, Mnangagwa, for instance, walked into the Commissioners General's Augustine Chiwenga, seen as one of those resisting the coup. Should he be held accountable for human rights violation they committed they were under Mugabe? In November 2017, amidst the coup, Mnangagwa told journalists in Harare, when we wanted to show this regime that we are the fighters of the liberation were the ones who brought ZANU-PF and Mugabe to power, and that we were not happy. We became victims of violence, which hit the conscience of all Zimbabweans. You all know that 2 years ago, we were tear-gassed and water cannoned by the Zimbabwean regime. It was a painful occasion, and we want people who did that to be still accountable in the fullness of time. But what it also did is that it opened the eyes of the Zimbabwe people as the extremities to which this regime would go to try to maintain its power. Mnangagwa said CIO was at the center of corruption and human rights abuses in Zimbabwe under Mugabe, and Bonyongwa as the enforcer is turning attack in country where the intelligence service is widely dreaded. All the rot which have forced you, the people of Zimbabwe, to suffer so much, the CIO should have been vigilant. We know that the CIO have been accused many times for actually, acting violently against the Zimbabwean people, and they can't deny that. I mean, the information is out there. But every time I ask myself questions, because I know CIOs, I've got friends, CIOs, the South African people here. I've never seen them, beating people. I've never seen them abduct and torture people. In Zimbabwe, we love to label, criminalities with some fancy names. So the Central Intelligence Organization, but most of these guys are simply criminals. If you can abduct, torture citizens, you are a hardcore criminal. You can't be called, you're a murderer. You can't be called a CIO. There's no intelligence in your actions. So I don't like to actually call things in a way that I know they are not, so criminals are criminals who are acting on behalf of ZANU-PF, who are working as a syndicate to literally terrorize citizens. I can tell you, most of them have tried to call me. Some have come in the form of, a love, you know what, I need to know you better. Somehow I know we can pay for the hotel. And I'm laughing in my house. I'm like, no, you came too late. You came too late. I can afford to also be at the hotel. I can afford to do anything that I want in life. I don't need any dirty money, bloody money. I don't touch bloody money. I've worked all my life. You can't be the only person who can come and change my mind today. You are too late. You came way too late. So it doesn't help. It doesn't really help. And I'm moving on. So we all know that Mnangagwa now, I think Mnangagwa at this point in time, considering what's going on within the camps and how Mnangagwa is being annihilated. I also heard George Charamba as well. Now Mnangagwa needs to be very careful. Mnangagwa needs to start, literally maybe dialogue with the citizens to protect himself from this mess. Because I can see them coming after him heavily. Now it makes sense why he wanted to make Valerio the ex-official. I'm just thinking that he was trying to at least appoint someone that he knew was not as brutal as what's coming for him. I'm sure that was the goal. But, Rejoicing Maya made it clear that Mnangagwa was not also going to give up that easily because he does not trust anybody. We can see what's going on now. Apart from his loyalists that wants to fight Chiwenga, I can see that Mnangagwa, he does not trust anybody. Especially now that they are heavily infiltrated. He does not. He does not trust anyone. Because now the Newsday reported that ZANU-PF plots protests against the ED 2030 spoilers. Remember the 2030 that came out, recently, and people, apart from the ZANU-PF, their factional fight, individuals, the Zimbabwean people too do not agree, with the 2030. I do not agree with it, and not in a single moment. I've had enough of Mnangagwa's regime that I even wanted to go before 2017. It couldn't even exist at all, yet alone talking about what's going on currently. So they are not the only people who are unhappy within ZANU-PF. Zimbabweans, people across the world, do not want the regime of Mnangagwa anymore. That's all I can say. They don't want it. It's not because they hate Mnangagwa as a person. No, the regime of Mnangagwa has completely failed, to cater for the Zimbabwean people. It keeps on abusing innocent citizens. We know we've got a number of people who are in prison today. We didn't do no wrong. I don't know why is Mnangagwa expected people to sit and smile at him and say, no, all is well, sir. No. Things are not okay. Your actions are one of the reasons why Zimbabweans do not want this regime any longer. Is the violence, the disrespect of the people of Zimbabwe, the arrogance in their actions, and also, greedy, corruption, evil towards their own brothers. That's the reason why we just don't want them. There's no any other reason. But let me read the report for the Newsday, though, in regard to the action that the people that support Mnangagwa wants to take. So they say the ZANU-PF Midlands and Masvingo. Again, I must tell you, these are just individual, like a few people. But when they talk, it's Midlands. It's Masvingo. It's acting as if the entire Masvingo says Mnangagwa should stay. When I know that people in Masvingo, I'm from Masvingo, I don't agree with Mnangagwa, so I think that's crazy. And Midlands, you're talking about Midlands. The last time I checked, the people in Midlands are against Mnangagwa. So when you say Midlands, what do you mean? Just say John, Peter, Mary, or Lorraine, Tendai, Ratizo, whosoever, wants Mnangagwa to stay. But when you say Midlands and when you say Masvingo, you're kind of roping everyone in, which I know is not even correct. But anyway, ZANU-PF, Midlands and Masvingo provincial structures reportedly plotting protests against, of course, a non-critic of President Emerson Mnangagwa. They don't want to say Chiwenga, a non-critic. Chiwenga is not a critic for Mnangagwa. Chiwenga simply say, now that your term is expired, we should now look for the next person to represent ZANU-PF. What's wrong with that? It's not a critic, And when people talk of corruption, are they talking about Mnangagwa? They're talking about corruption in general. Why is it Mnangagwa panicking? When people say we just want to have a Congress and choose a leader that can stand for some people, why are you panicking? All right, so Mnangagwa loyalists, especially in Midlands, again, I've told you, there's just something so strange. Midlands and Masvingo want the constitution amended to ensure the country's leader extends his term of office to 2030 and beyond. All right, 2030 and beyond. That is eternity that Farai just mentioned now. According to the constitution, Mnangagwa's term limit is expected to end in 2028, but they want to extend it. Quite interesting. But also when I listened to Eddie Cross, who was a bit brutal though towards Mnangagwa, very seriously. I don't know if you guys managed to watch the interview that he had with Boys Detonas. I think that should be, I forgot the guy's name, but it's Boys Detonas. If you know them, the incredible podcast there. Okay, Danny Shaw, yeah. He said a lot of things. At this point in time, I can see that even Dikros can, he's also tired. He has nothing else to say. He's tired. He just want to be out of the mess from Mnangagwa anymore. And you know how it is when people see that you're almost you're almost, collapsing. They're like, no, I'm distancing myself. 1 minute, I am the advisor of Mnangagwa. But that interview proved beyond reasonable doubt that even Eddie Cross is now pulling things can go wild. I don't want to be part of this. I do not want to be robbed into this mess. But anyway, for those that did not listen to the interview though, I listened to it, not all. I listened to some of the podcasts there that I really wanted. I did not want to listen to a lot of things that were not important. I want you to listen to what Eddie said. As far as the issue of Mnangagwa's regime is concerned, take a listen, please.
He's a genius, but I think he's an idiot politically. He's
referring to Tamba.
And so there was no doubt about who was in charge, and that is what Chamisa missed. That is what Chamisa missed, and it's a great shame. But someone new's got to come out of the woodwork, and we'll wait and see. Change might come from within ZANU. Look at Frelimo today. New president, 38 years old, young man, family.
You're sure he's going to be the president?
Absolutely. He'll get 80%. I was in Mozambique last week for 3 days. I saw some of the campaigning. He will definitely win. And And he's a completely new breath of fresh air. He was never involved in the liberation struggle. His parents were not involved in the liberation struggle. He's got a first-class education. He's the next generation.
Do you see something like that happening at 38-year-old running for ZANU-PF?
I'm telling you, that's the future. If they fail, as I said to you, the key test of the Emerson term, the last term, the next 4 years, the key test is the transition of power. And if that's seamless to a new, it's got to be to the next generation. My generation has failed. Our generation has failed. We failed Zimbabwe. We failed Africa. There's no doubt about that. So it's up to you guys. And what's exciting about it is you're there. I mean, I meet guys like the new Deputy Minister of Finance, David Mnangagwa. You know, and I just, how old is he? He's 35. Hey?
Something like that, yeah.
35, yeah. Got a master's degree in mathematics. You know, he's brilliant, young family. You know, beautiful young wife. Oh, bells, you know, and there's lots of you. There's lots of you. I mean, I've just been working with Mutapa, the new investment fund.
Yeah.
They've just recruited staff from the diaspora. I mean, God, you want to meet those boys. And so one or two of them are girls, you know. Dynamic. You know, guys who really know what they're doing. They're financially savvy. They're right on top of their game. They've been in the private sector for the last 20 years, and they've come home. They've come home to do exactly what I'm doing. Help build the new Zimbabwe. And I'm excited about the future of Africa. The first time I went to Mozambique in 1987, 500,000 people died of starvation. There wasn't one functioning school. The whole of Mozambique had 3 university graduates. You go to Mozambique today, the place is a buzz. And it's Mozambicans who are running the show.
Why is that so, Eddie? Why are things happening?
Africa's moving.
Are we moving with Africa?
Yes. Oh, this country is growing so fast, and it's young people. It's not the government. It's young people. And I'm very excited about the future of Zimbabwe. Anybody who looks at Zimbabwe and says we're growing at 3% or 4% per annum, I say it's absolute nonsense. Just look around you. Look at the building boom. Look at the traffic. Look at the activity. I mean, Starlink. How long have we had Starlink? A month? 2 months?
Yeah, just about.
We've absolutely swamped Starlink. We've absolutely swamped them. They can't handle the volume of the business.
But Eddie, is that indicative of everybody in the country?
No, of course not.
You know,
many people left behind.
Yeah, too many people left behind.
Yeah, but at least that's the cutting edge. But you guys are the future. I'm not the future. You guys are the future. And I've got total confidence in the new generation. I look at what some of these young people are doing here business-wise. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. You know, the YPO, Young Presidents Organization, you've got to be under 35 years of age to be a member.
Okay.
You've got to have a minimum personal wealth of $12 million US. There are 53 of them in Harare.
Are they not political elite?
No ways. They're not interested in politics. That's our problem. That's our problem.
Okay, can you really make money without having politics in the background?
Yes, you can. Lots of evidence of that, yeah. Lots of evidence of that. What's our biggest company? Inscore. Inscore today, Z Kudinaris 30 years ago was nobody. Today, he's our biggest businessman. He's probably the biggest businessman in Africa. Certainly, I think he could challenge the guys in Nigeria. And, you know, and he's built it, and it's a dynamic business, and he's bigger outside of Zimbabwe than he is in.
Can you get to that level without political links?
Probably not. You certainly can't be an active member of the opposition to achieve that. You've got to be at the least neutral. I mean, how?
Yeah.
Look at the farm community.
Yeah.
In 2000, there were 4,800 white farmers. In 2010, there were maybe 300 left.
Out of 4,800.
Yeah. Now, why did those 300 survive?
Political links.
Yeah. May not have been active, may not have been rah, but they played the game. They supported ZANU. They paid their dues. When they were asked to attend an independence rally, they attended with 6 mombies in the back of the truck.
The moral of the story?
This is Africa. And this is part of our culture. I think it's a reality. And I think the white farmers were stupid.
Quite interesting. You can hear he centers his talk around you must be supporting ZANU in order for you to actually be able to do something in the country. That's quite very disappointing and sad, actually. In 2024, you think I should be bootlicking you in order for me to survive. It doesn't work in my world. It doesn't work at all. Not in a single day. I don't bootlick nobody, absolutely nobody, you know. This is quite sad, honestly. So number one is talking about that in a Mutapa investment fund, they recruited people from the diaspora. Now the question is, who are the people? Of course, they are children and their relatives. I'm sure they must be relatives for Tagwire. I know for sure. Remember last time you mentioned that he's taking care of his 200 family members. 200 family members that he is taking care of. And I'm asking, don't they work for themselves? You know? But yeah, that's what happens when you have access to the money of the state and you think you're smart until that time where you have to be held accountable. It's quite very sad. And again, you have heard, he's talking about Mnangagwa's son. So maybe that is the dynasty we are referring to that they are trying to build, which is not going to happen at all, not a single day. It will not work. It will never happen. So he says, no, he's got education. Zimbabweans are educated by nature. Who doesn't have education? And who really cares about whether Mnangagwa's kids have got education or not? Zimbabweans want a leader. They don't care about whosoever. This superiority complex. I've been telling myself that the problem that we have in Zimbabwe is the ZANU-PF superiority complex. Is the main problem. They've got this poverty mentality of always thinking that I need to be having a position in order for me to actually be able to live. Yo, you don't need a position to fulfill purpose. You need to find your calling, your God-given talent. Whether you have a title or not, you don't need that in life. But when you're a fool, you think, oh, I need to be given a title. That's why people are fighting to have positions in politics. It is so sad to watch. To say, hey, you don't need a title. You can still be joining and change lives. In fact, the most successful billionaires don't even have title. You know, today we are looking at Elon Musk only started supporting Trump because of their business deals thing, but you didn't see him all along when he started his businesses around the, I don't know, maybe he was, but I did not see him. Because he was focused on the purpose. The country is working. You can create your own business. But thinking that someone should have a title and become a leader, that's why I'm very much worried about this movement that's coming now. And like, again, as much as I don't care about the fights within ZANU-PF, I'm very much concerned about the superiority complex that someone who's supposed to lead Zimbabwe should be within ZANU-PF. You don't have to support ZANU-PF to be a Zimbabwean leader. You don't have to. Why is it ZANU-PF think they have title deeds to the country? They have a monopoly. They have to decide. Because ZANU-PF is simply a name. These are individuals from their own house trying to sell an illusion and a lie to the Zimbabwean people like they are so special. If they were this special, wouldn't be in this mess that we are in. Our people are being sold as slaves. Our people are slaves in different countries. I heard a video that is circulating today, apparently of Zimbabweans their children were taken by the police because the children didn't have papers in South Africa. I think you guys have actually heard some of you, the audio that is circulating that was sent out by Crime Watch Zimbabwe. Parents are looking for their children. And then you tell me that you are ZANU-PF and you're a leader. What kind of leadership is that? When your people are beggars, when your people are suffering, when your people are a basket case across the world, you should be ashamed of yourself. ZANU-PF as a party is a curse. It brought a curse, upon Zimbabwe. Honestly, a curse. And I said by my words, the day ZANU-PF dies is the day Zimbabwe is going to be free. If there ever be anything that we need to do is to do away with ZANU-PF for good. If they want to have another party, these individuals, they must have a new party. The word is ZANU-PF on its own is a curse upon Zimbabwe. It is a cult that does not represent anything good as far as Zimbabwe is concerned. It's the selfishness, the greedy, foolishness. They are so foolish to a point where they're experts in destroying stuff. Greedy collectors, so they're collecting stuff that they don't even use. They're like Rumbi, who's not a farmer. You know what I mean? Greedy. Collector. It is a shame. Anyway, their fight going on. Somebody said something that it actually made me laugh. That was yesterday morning. In the morning, right here. That was Chimama here. I want to read what she said. She said the fires, there's an issue of fires that now, they are now taking those fires to say, no, we want to fix the things. Let me tell you, all these are looting vehicles. Looting vehicles, nothing else. They want to bleed Zimbabwe until they leave with nothing. Absolutely nothing. If those that listen to Mnangagwa today said they borrowed 1.8 billion. Did you hear what Mnangagwa said today? To fix the water crisis. Is it fixed? $1.8 billion US dollars. How much is that in rands? They borrowed, right? They borrowed 1.8 billion dollars to fix water crisis in the country. Is it fixed? It's not fixed. But he's on record saying that. Where did the money go? Of course, the money was taken by the ZANU-PF people. They feel like Zimbabwe is owing them that almost like 31 trillion in rands. What can it do to South Africa? 31 trillion, 755,502,440 rands. What can that money do to South Africa? To Zimbabwe? Yeah, in Zimbabwe, I don't think people would be paying for transport. If we were using our money well and our resources well, people wouldn't be paying for transport. People wouldn't pay for school fees. Kids would just, teachers will be earning maybe $3,000 or $5,000 per month today. If they were using our resources well, even the tax money that we are paying, but no, that's not the story. These ones are just stealers. They're the most foolish people I've never seen, because not only are they stealing, they would rather take these minerals to go and give people outside there in Dubai, and they get trinkets. They get trinkets. They being given gold watch from people from Dubai. Where Dubai don't even gold watch. Dubai does not have gold as the gold that we have in Zimbabwe. They are taking all our African gold to Dubai, and then people put a watch or Lamborghini. And to these people in Dubai, those cars are nothing. Guys, I've seen those people are filthy rich. It is a shame that we are sitting in 2024 talking about how foolish ZANU-PF is. The most foolish people are found in Zimbabwe, who are masquerading as their leaders, but they don't even have the qualities to lead absolutely nothing. 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 They believe in stealing. It is said. So the fires, which they are not saying they're going to fix in Bari, and the goal is to start taxing people in Bari, right? Bleeding people to death. The people in Bari are already suffering. Now they're coming after their little that they are making in Bari. They want that man to themselves. So the fires, the General Mujuru died in the fire at his farm. Shinamasa's house was once burned down. Fires by ZANU-PF towards their own people did not start this week. Anyways, let's look at Joyce Mujuru's journey after her husband was killed by the fire. A battered Joyce Mujuru emerged from a police van surrounded by armed detectives as she made her way into the Harare magistrate courts, where a threatening charge of terrorism, banditry, and insurgency awaited her. Imagine her lips chapped and hair unkempt, walking out from the dirty police van in leg irons and her hands handcuffed after spending 2 nights at the notorious Matapi police station. A woman in politics only thrives under her husband's protection. Look at Grace Mugabe now. The reason Jess Mujuru wanted to go into a coalition with opposition MDC, Tangrai to oust Mugabe, but later Mnangagwa in 2018 election. Opposing as politics is not allowed in Zimbabwe, only those that comply with ZANU-PF. Idi Mnangagwa's demands survive only to eat. Very sad. Good morning. And that's what the message that she sends out. I must say, we can change this culture. We can change it if we want to by simply saying no to the nonsense culture. We can change it. I'm a firm believer that, this new generation has got so much power. But if we are not smart, ZANU-PF can continue with their nonsense, because remember, there's already young people who have been trained to walk through all these shenanigans of evil. That's all they know, the tactics of eliminating individuals, poisoning individuals who never did no wrong, killing innocent people, abducting and torture, using set institutions. That's all they know. That's the game they understand. They don't understand how to build generational, authentic wealth. You say this. So it's us, the Zimbabwean people, we need to put a stop and say, this is not who we are. We need to change the entire system. That's why I think, besides mentioning the opposition, it's like Zimbabweans in general, across the world, need to come together and redefine what Zimbabwean means to them. Not what ZANU-PF wants. ZANU-PF are individuals, right? We need to start thinking about what is it that we want for Zimbabwe as a country. Not what ZANU-PF, forget about that. I don't even know what, every time I hear people putting so much power on ZANU-PF, I find that weird, because I'm like, they don't even have no authority and power at all. If they had authority and power, they won't be doing what they're doing. These guys are servants, and they are literally at the mercy of those in Europe and in Dubai. These guys are the most, I would say, gullible people have never seen. The power they have, they don't even know how to use it. Because if they knew, man, they would have done incredible things in Zimbabwe. Or arresting people who are innocent in prison. It shows that they're just stupid. What are you doing? Why do you arrest an innocent person? Are you a deranged? Are you mentally off? Why would you do that? You say this. You don't need politics to succeed in life. You need purpose to succeed. But they have nothing. Their heads are just empty-headed. The only they know is to attack, kill, torture. I mean, it's a sad story. It's a sad story. But anyway, another page of their page that they created, again, aligning with Chiwenga, said, from today onwards, the war veterans' kids will expose all corrupt looters hiding behind President Mnangagwa. But I would say that is not even correct. You should ask Mnangagwa to tell you who are the corrupt people. Don't tell me you're hiding. There's no way any leader who is genuine and authentic can have corrupt people around him without taking action. Please, we are not kids. Loyalists advocated for 2030 illegal constitutional violations for selfish benefit, including what exactly they are protecting behind the eyes of the public. I disagree that people who are championing 2030, are just doing it at their own personal, interests without the Mnangagwa's or his children. I know his children are the ones that are playing the strings. They are too drunk with power. They're drunk with the lifestyle. They are so obsessed with the lifestyle, in my opinion. They love this control. I mean, your one son is, in the mining sector. He's making this. He sees all these billions. His relationship with the Chinese. He feels powerful in that space. and also Butulikas on the other hand is feeling like, you know what, without me, nothing can happen. The other one, the junior, also is doing his own things. And remember, the other time he was being accused of causing chaos, he's being accused of drugs, things, all manner of stuff. So they're also feeling powerful, concubines all the place, they're also feeling powerful. You can see them on social media showing all manner of their drama there. The cousins are also want to go after the men. It's all about the things. It's the dirty lifestyle. On the other one, there's Shoni also is being accused of making moves in the military. So it's the power. They're drunk in power. They don't see there is life beyond this power thing. They don't see it. They're drunk. So for me, I don't think Mnangagwa is a problem. Then, I think his children are. It's like blaming my father, who's almost 70 years, that my father is a problem because of my actions. Do you understand? No, I can do whatever I do. I can even convince my father. I can even lie to my father, so that Mnangagwa is 80-something years old. We must never forget he's getting younger. So you can hear when he speaks that sometimes he's out of touch with the reality of life. So the people that are pulling the strings, in my opinion, are his children. That's what I'm seeing, his kids. So really blaming Mnangagwa sometimes, it's difficult when you're a father and you have all these children who are surrounding you. And each and every one of them wants something, want to feel, like my father is a president, right? It will force you to even believe in things that you don't believe in. Because every child, remember last time, Rudo, the daughter of Mnangagwa again, was also accused of actually benefiting from Zeki's scandal of 100 million that was looted by Wiki Noshiva. The news works reported the same thing. It's every child wants to feel special. My father is a president. So in the process, it's very costly to his name and his legacy. Time will deal with that. Because the empire will collapse. And these kids are going to lose everything. I don't think Zimbabweans are that stupid. I don't think so. And I'm saying it, and these are the conversations we need to start having, Zimbabweans. The most important conversations is that they're going to lose stuff. Not only them, most of these guys in ZANU-PF are going to lose stuff. Because in general, how you get where you are will determine how you're going to walk out. It's a principle. Easy come, easy go. How did you get the stuff? Easy. We can torture people. We can abuse. We can send thugs to go and then beat them up. We can lock innocent people in prison. We can walk feel big and good on the streets. It's just a matter of time before you realize that you were not big at all. You were not big at all. Time will deal with that. It shows even now, ZANU-PF is known for, it's like a hukino gamazayo. It's known. Nduna was jumping up and down. You remember last time? Say he was supporting Sheikh Itumburwa in Chegutu after the recalls and all manner of drama. Now he's paying it hard. The allegations are they want to keep him in prison until after Christmas. Zimbabweans, when we talk about having a nation that functions normal, it's not political. It's a principle, right? It has nothing to do with politics. It's you are obsessed with positions. Who think it's politics? It's not politics. Because no one is safe, which includes those that are in ZANU-PF. No one is safe. Because life is not governed by positions and a political party. It's governed by principles. I've heard people say, do you think there's karma? No, there's no karma. I've heard many people say that, and I laugh every time they say so. So no, because so many people do even, they get away with it. You know what? It's your assumption. Majority of them don't even sleep. These guys don't sleep. You can see how miserable they look. Do you know if they were genuinely running businesses and really work genuinely, you would see them glowing. Glowing, looking beautiful. No, most of them are filthy. With the money they are looting, they're dirty. They are filthy. Filthy. Always dirty suits, angry, unhappy, because they're cursed. It's a curse. The curse of God is interesting. Even the thirsty and the appetite to keep taking and taking, it's a sign that you have no peace. People with peace, they believe in giving, they give. And they have more and more. They smile, they go to the gym, they train, they exercise, they eat healthy. These ones don't even know what eating healthy means. They believe that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this not because I'm trying to be rude. If you are someone who has got a big tummy, it's not intentional. I'm simply trying to say this. They eat unhealthy. Big tummies, they think it's success. I was watching the guys who betrayed the struggle last year. Do you remember them? Check them now and see how their tummies are. And they think they've arrived. Oh, we are successful. No, you're not. You're not. That's not being healthy. Check the billionaires in America. They work out every day. Stealing is not success. It's not. When are they going to get time to work out and be healthy? When they just think about who to attack. Think about who is watching me. How much money did we steal? They don't have no time to actually live. These people are not living. Show me any thug that is living. Show me the hardcore criminals that you know. Do they live? They're always hiding. Who's following me? Who's saying what? Check them. Check. Please. These guys are not living. They're simply selling you a lie. One day they will tell their stories. One day they will tell you, if I knew, I could have done it better. One day they will tell their stories. It's just a matter of time. So Nduna is locked up, but I'm going to read this tweet. They also not by finals. He said, I'm going to whistleblow. Okay? I think that was after I spoke to someone. He said, I'm going to whistleblow on this one, excuse me. Nduna is a person, intel, from Madam Justice, who lives in Mount Pleasant, suggests that Akoma Nduna will spend Christmas in prison. This is how ZANU-PF pays him back after standing aside for Sheki Timburwa in Chegutu West. No, it wasn't him standing for Timburwa. It was him supporting evil. And it's his time, payback time. Okay? It's payback time. It has nothing to do with politics. It's a principle. You saw evil, you're going to reap it. You're going to reap it. All this is vanity. You went on to say, Timburwa constituents, that was Chegutu, right? Where they would have had a double candidate scenario, free all social democrats and Nduna himself from remand prison. So he's kind of addressing Mnangagwa, the president, because he's the one that is pulling the shots with these people. Who's pulling the shots for people to be arrested, innocent people? Of course, it's the regime that is behind the whole entire shenanigans. It's our brothers and our sisters who sit comfortably planning to hate their own brothers. So let me simplify it so that you understand. I don't want to complicate stuff. I don't like that because I'll be foolish to do so. These are our brothers that you call Kanya, all manner of names, Amuk, Shumba, Murambi, whatever you call it, Banachi, Moyontijo, Moyo, whatever, all these totems. These are brothers who sit down and plan, orchestrate to hurt their own brothers and sisters, hoping that they are living a better life. Foolishness. Foolishness. Time will tell. So Nduna, when we say let's build a normal country, we mean to say, if Zimbabwe was functioning normal, you are not going to be seen on the street creating your own power structure against the seat of Harare or seat of anything, taking people's money and do all manner of things. If the country was functioning normal, that's what we were talking about. When we say this is not an opposition, whatever it's called, don't politicize the stuff. This is simply saying, let's build a nation that functions normal. Then you are not going to be found in that place today. You'll be home with your wife and children in a successful compound, living your better life. Maybe think about what you're going to do in your business tomorrow. But you know what? You chose to play the dirty games. You know what? then the dirty games come back to haunt you. That's what happens. Zimbabweans, in the next Zimbabwe that is coming, I urge you and I pray that you are going to choose principles over anything else. That fathers and brothers, whoever want to be in politics, that you are going to choose the right things or the right way of living than cutting corners, because cutting corners come with consequences. Most people in Zimbabwe, they are going to pay it heavily. It's just a matter of time. Now, the war vets, excuse me, they're also rejecting Mnangagwa to continue with his entire saga. So now the war vets in Ulawa are starting having meetings, robust meetings. But again, I've told you that definitely there is a hand behind it, because Chiwenga is in support of these guys. They're also supporting Chiwenga. He got married there. You know, which is a good thing. I mean, he's doing well. I mean, if you get married to your family, you are a child in the family, you tend to become a son. So as a wise son, what do? You make sure you bless the family that you married to. You are grateful for the wife that God has given you. The wife is there vibing, things are working. Why not? You can promote there. What stops you from doing so? It's like if I get married into a family, I'm going to make sure I promote my people. I believe in my people. You know, I love my people. I pray for them and I believe in them. Right? I'm happy I found a good husband, and I'm a happy wife, happy home. You understand? So they are standing in family now boldly. They are speaking out. You can see they're coming out. But all I can say to Zimbabwean people, do never be hoodwinked again. 2017 should never see the light of day. What we can happen is, let's unite our people and have a conversation. A nation can only be built on a platform of conversations. Show me any house that can succeed when everyone does whatever they want. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to make sure you unite the people for everything to work, right? All right, very disturbing stuff that's going on in the country that I want to look at now. Crime Watch Zimbabwe reported yesterday, I want to read the article, that 78-year-old Harare grandfather in trouble for watching PORN with his grandchildren. So grandfather, right, is watching disturbing videos or pictures with the grandchildren. Bananas Mashonganyika, 78 years old, has been dragged to court by his daughter, Moline, who is accusing him of abusing a minor children. Banapasi has 7 other protection orders which have been issued against him by the Harare Civil Court for his actions against the children and relatives. He is perceived as a troublesome man who is into drugs and alcohol. He is my father, but I don't approve of his conduct around my children. He has been showing them, POR pornographic content, and I don't know his actions, said Molini. So the father, who's supposed to love his grandchildren and respect and love his legacy, he's now showing children disturbing images. Sometimes I always say to myself, I think I'm going to go to heaven walking. I think the day that I'm going to die, I'm going to tell family, I said, come over here, I'll sit around here. Now I'm going home to be with the Father. Because things that I'm seeing in this world are shocking. A grandfather who's supposed to love his grandchildren and begin to speak to them and tell them about life, tell them about the history, begin to build this legacy and start impacting greatness in the children. This man is choosing to poison his grandchildren by letting them watch disturbing videos. Can we just look at each other, Zimbabwe, and say something is going wrong in this country? Do I blame? I've told you that the road to start from the head. It drips like the oil and anointing of iron. You know what the Bible says? Starts from the top, it goes down there. You see, and we know that these people on the top has been accused of, that there are people, young people within Zimbabwe who actually look for women who comes in and be with these old madalas. This can just show you that something is so wrong that we've normalized. We normalize the worst. The worst of the worst. We have lowered the bar. And I must say this to men in 2024. And today I was actually thinking, and I was like, I wish One thing I'll tell you, and I want to say this to my brothers here, single men here, shout out to you. I know there's a lot. I always see women say, oh no, men are finished. Hey, I'm like, yay, where are you? There's a lot of Zimbabwean men who are single if you're looking for a husband. Lots. In their 50s, 60s, 40s, lots. That is, listen, I'm telling you, lots on the street. So I want to talk to you, brothers. All that you see, that you're spending your time on, is vanity. You're going to look back and begin to say, why did I even waste my life? What did I come out with? Nothing. Mainstream media has done so well to hijack your brains and show you useless stuff that don't benefit you absolutely nothing. I always say that 80% of billionaires are married people. You need to ask yourself why. Because there's a lot of advantages in marriage. A lot. Don't confuse choosing the wrong person and marriage are two different things. Okay. You may have just chose because sometimes you were young, you did not know better. Okay. And sometimes it's culture as well. In Zimbabwean culture, there's this mantra of saying, if you want to marry a good woman, she must look this certain way. If you're a Christian, like I grew up in the church, let me tell you, I know what I'm talking about. Okay. They'll tell you the kind of a good woman looks a certain way. And our culture as well it promotes education. Like, so she must have a degree from the university of whatsoever. So you are marrying a good wife. No. You marry a woman that is qualified to support your dream. It has nothing to do with your body, where she come from. No. It's, can she support your calling, your God-given gift? Not her bombs and her butt, your boobs. That's nonsense. When you're still, when you're talking to my friend, a Zimbabwean guy, okay, because I'm gonna tell my brothers, I make sure my brothers will not lose the battle, okay? I'm a good sis here. I want you all to do the right thing. I was talking to someone one day. This guy was very much talking about all this appearance thing. He's telling me, he said, no, I actually want a woman who's like that. It was like that. I'm sitting and I'm listening to him. I said, you don't know love yet. You're still yet to know love. You don't know love at all. You are empty in your head. Human beings are spiritual beings. They are not the body and the body. All these things are simple. You see me, the way that you look at me. Everything that you see is soil that's going to go back to the soil. I'm a spiritual being. Why? If you have not tapped into my spiritual life, you don't know me at all. You know nothing about women and human beings in general. You have to understand that human beings are spiritual beings, not their outside appearance. That's why there's a lot of divorce going on every day, because people are simply hooking up with the wrong individuals on the street for wrong reasons. You look at your calling, why you are in this world, and then you find someone who matches the destiny. No. The destination, where you're going, what you're looking for. Are you a family-oriented person? Then you look at someone who has those qualities. And I know that the moment I said that, some people are like, no. I know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to help you. So you don't make mistakes again if you've made one before. If you genuinely want to build a home, a successful family, it will take work. If you want to succeed at university, it's going to take commitment. At work, if you want to be called the employee of the year, it will take commitment. That very same commitment you apply at your workplace, apply it in your marriage life. It's as simple as that. In a marriage life, it's even worse, more than your workplace, because your workplace, you go there temporarily. Your home life is your lifetime. It's for a lifetime. It's your full-time job, family life. You need to invest your time in understanding human beings. Not going around with useless people on the street whom the parents have failed to court order. I had a video, I don't know if it's a skit or maybe it's not a skit, because it seems like it's not a skit. A man was talking about that he was taking money, trying to buy a house with a girlfriend, and the woman took the money and buy the house in her name. I think you guys saw the video circulating. And I'm like, what a foolish man. What a foolish man. You take money that belongs to your wife and your children, Try to buy a house with a girlfriend on the street. What a foolish person. Yo, listen. Who does that? It's like me taking man that's supposed to feed my family, right? Yeah, I've got families that I need. Then I take man to go and give a man that is walking on the street. That's why I don't feed men on the street. I don't do that. In my lifetime, God knows I lie not, I've never given a man money. Never. But trust me, if I marry a man, and I'm married, and we are married in a marriage, and we need to find, I will contribute. Because I want to contribute. I want to see that family work. But to give a man on the street money, or a man sleeping in my house, I don't do that. It's nonsense. Doing what? Get your own place. Live your life. Some of the things you don't need to get a university from Harvard to do the right thing. You are simply breaking laws and principles and you expect to succeed. Guys, it doesn't work like that. You are a single man, you're taking care of men in your house. You're a single woman, sorry. He's coming eating in your house, he's sleeping in your house. Excuse me, are you crazy? No. You don't do that. You don't do that. I do remember though, but this guy's not my friend, okay? He's not my friend, so he's my friend now, he's married actually. So he always said to me, Ruby, but you know, I wanted to marry you. But you broke the principle, that's why I did not want, it was early 20s. You know, he liked me from Zimbabwe, you know, he was like, yeah, I like you, whatever, okay? So then I moved, you know, I'm also, you know, I told you my story that when I came to South Africa, I wasn't like following a man as such, but I, you know, I was kind of in a fling with someone and I wanted to be closer to the person. So that was a motivation. So I told my dad, no, I want to go to school, but I knew I wanted to be closer to this person that I like. No, when you're young, you're crazy. And you know what I mean? So, and then this guy also came to South Africa. Then he phoned him. I was like, no, hey, I'm in South Africa. Some people that I was supposed to meet with, they duped me. I need a place to stay. I'm like, dude, I'm staying in a one room. You can't stay in my house. I switched my phone off. So he always said to me, he's got a nice job though, but he's my friend now. I said to him, no, there was no way I was going to allow you to come and stay in my house. I was staying in one room. If I had another place, because you liked me. If it was like someone who was desperate, I would say, you know what? Who cares? But you liked me. I can't be in the same house with you. No, I cannot do that. Because you liked me. I don't mind helping a brother, Zimbabwean brother, any person to stay in my house. I don't have a problem if I want to. But a boyfriend, someone who likes me to come and stay in my house, no, no, over my dead body. Over my dead body. You understand? You don't do those kind of things. Listen, don't forget that the men that you are seeing on the street come from a family. These are children who come from families where they have rules, where parents don't take nonsense as well, where their sisters are watching. Don't be dumb and foolish. Be smart. It's a Game of Thrones. You're going to be wise. Okay? Be careful. Don't trust people with your children. When I'm teaching you, I'm simply trying to say, if you're an intentional person in life, you are mindful of the steps that you take. You need to know who you're going to be part of and how to manage your house. It's a principle. You manage yourself first before you want to build someone else. How can you manage your personal life as a person? Will determine if you succeed when you're with someone. You firstly manage yourself. It's your actions. Surely you can tell me that every woman on the street you are with the person and you expect to be a successful married man. It doesn't work like that. Surely you cannot tell me as a single woman, every man you meet you sleep with and expect to be a good wife. You can't tell me that doesn't work like that. Because you know what? Because family require commitment and sacrifices. Because it requires sacrifices. You can be exposed to men. What will be your action when you're around men? You can be exposed to women. There will be family members sometimes who are desperate, who just come and visit. How are you going to act in front of that family member, a woman or a man? Right? So you manage yourself first before you want to build someone. Don't come and tell me, oh no, that's what men does. It's a lie. It's in your head. Oh, that's all women are just doing the same. No. We don't do that. I know a lot of girls from Zimbabwe who don't live those kind of lifestyle. It's in your head. It's what you see on television. You think that's the reality. No, it's not. And I must tell you guys, you don't choose a wife because of how she wears. You choose a wife based on who she is. The heart, the actions, real actions, not simple things to know if a person is good or not. Simple things. You test people easy. A genuine man who genuinely want to marry a woman, there's a way that he approaches and the way that he acts. You know why? Because he wants to present himself as a good man. I want to tell you something that I always love to talk about is that I realize that women don't know that they're actually the prize. Yo, I am the prize. You understand? I'm the prize. Because I know I'm the prize. And the man who wants to pay for the prize is not going to pay for nonsense. So with that being said, I also need to be mindful for how I walk and how I keep my tracks. I have a track record, right? Because I don't want my husband to spend his money to marry me, to marrying nonsense. I want him to take a wife to his mother's house. A good wife. An investment. An asset. So I am very mindful of how I live my life. So with that being said, I'm also mindful of who I take to my father's house. Not everybody is going to qualify for me to take him to my daddy's house. But I love people though. Everyone I love. But that person, yeah, he has to qualify for that sport. Yeah, he has to qualify. Not like he's a bad person. No, he's not a bad person. I have to check him out. Yeah, I'm a detective by nature. I check things out. I do my research. I don't care of what you have. I care about who you are. Because, you know, if it's things, we can always have whatever we want as long as we've got a good relationship, don't we? Yeah. But you can have things and lose everything when your character is flawed. You lose everything. So the person's character matters, not what he has. Character. How do you treat people? How do you respect yourself? How do you even respect your calling, your work? How honest are you? Imagine some girls are dating men who are selling others to ZANU-PF to be killed. And say, I found a boyfriend and a husband. You're sick in your head. You're marrying a cursed man. It means when you have your children, they're already cursed. That marriage will never succeed. You're already married into a curse. That's why I stand on the tower and I do not care. I can tell even ZANU-PF people to say, brothers, you are being used to destroy yourselves. If you are wise, stay away from these shenanigans of hating people. You will realize that it's not worth it with time. Okay. Protect your children. Don't trust people. You monitor your family members. If a person is flawed, tell daddy, I love you as my father, I care for you, but I don't want my children to be around you because you're not a good person. You don't teach my children to watch nonsense, not in this house. Have rules. But how can you have rules? You're just all over the place. Some of you men, you have children. You're all over the place with nonsense, useless people, and you don't even know what's going on with your children. Following useless women. You are busy just following like you're crazy. And your children have no direction. That is spending your time with your babies, loving them, nurturing them, mentoring them, by becoming who you want your children to become. It takes work. It takes work. Spending your time just inboxing almost every nonsense on social media. I don't care what people say. Some of you are spending your time 24/7 on social media. Doing what? Doing what? There's time for everything. But you must spend your time on investing, becoming a better person in life. Zimbabwe is going to change, guys. What I'm telling you now, you can see that the direction is changing. The wind is blowing in a complete opposite direction, which means there will come a time where you're going to look back and say, why did I even waste my time? Because those who invested on becoming better people are going to succeed, are going to raise incredible families right in front of your face. They are going to be married to amazing women. And here you are, you're just lying to women on the street. You are lying to women. You are lying to men as a woman. You are saying, I'm just gonna playing. You are messing up your track record. Good luck, guys. That's all I have for you tonight. All I just want you to be good people for the sake of destiny. Because good life, it comes with requirements. It also comes at a cost. How much are you prepared to pay to become a successful person at home, at work, everywhere you go? Be an honest man. Don't lie to women. Be honest. Guys, if there ever be anything that I can't do is to lie to a man. I can't. I cannot. What you see is what you get. And what I'm saying to you is exactly who I am. You take it or leave it. It's as simple as that. I can't even begin to lie to a person. No, I'm lying. I'm just lying to this person. No, I don't have time. I spend my time to check the qualities of being a husband. Because I'm a wife. I want a husband. If you don't have the qualities of a husband, you can't qualify to marry me. It's that simple. Because I'm a wife. I'm not a street woman. I don't have time for the streets. So, you need to know what you want and what you're looking for in life. And that will determine your choices. With all that I've been learning all my life, be it cooking, be it whatever, be it anything that pertains to be a wife, then all of a sudden I'm just following a man who's just all over the place. I don't have time for that. And the good women don't have time. And most of you have left good women because you want chaos and toxicity. You love fighting and it's, no. I don't have time for that. No, you want to scream around, please move in next to the next person and waste your time there. I do not have the time. You know what time I have? To make you great, to support you, to love you, to believe in you, to pray for you, to build your legacy. Don't spend your time fighting with the men that I married, screaming and shouting. I don't have time for that. I don't have time. Guys, just be a good person. Be a good person. It pays to be a good person. It pays to be a good person. I love you. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. I'll see you later on, guys. Have a good one. And spread the fire of love everywhere you go. Just do the right thing. Just spread positivity. Please, positive energy only. Only, please. Be honest. Just be honest. I heard there's a man who promised people in Zimbabwe that he was going to come and marry someone. The family gathered and he didn't turn up. That is a curse. You're cursed. You don't do that. You let elders gather and you don't turn up. Guys, how do you even do that? Except when you are mentally deranged. When you need help. Mental illness, Cheche. Who does that? Who raised you? Some of you, you're busy with children. I see women fighting 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds. Who does that? These are your babies. You should protect them. You need to be someone where people can use your name tomorrow in the right way. If it wasn't John helped me when I was in this position. If it wasn't Peter, if it wasn't Mary who helped me to become the person that I am, let someone has a story to tell, a good story about what your actions. Wanted to be known for being someone who hurt people all the time. No, that's not how life is supposed to be. Just be a good person. Okay. I love you. All is in love, guys. I bless you. And bye for now.